Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Resident Evil Village. Action adventure, western, survival, horror in Romania. Hey folks, welcome to MojoPlays. Today it's another battle of details. Which developer did it better? Josh here. We'll primarily be looking at the weaponry, since gunplay is a major focus of the two games, and they share many similarities along with how the player interacts with the world. Little disclaimer, this isn't some sort of, oh, they didn't even render a realistically textured core of this apple. We're just here to appreciate the little details these devs put into their games, and how different teams might tackle an effect differently. For instance, throwing a stick of dynamite at a tree. What happens? Who did what better and in what ways? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's go. With one of the strongest weapons in Resident Evil, the Magnum, you'll see these bright dramatic flashes while it leaves behind the standard bullet hole every gun shares. On the Red Dead side, even the smaller shooters leave these beefy craters in the terrain, though obviously, bullet conservation is a much bigger theme in Resident Evil. In terms of ladders, many are found across both titles. When falling off of them, Arthur takes damage, whereas Ethan does not, which is kinda funny. So in RE, jump off all the ladders and obstacles you want. It's actually a pretty legit time-saving move. Right to the fun stuff, Red Dead's rather reserved dynamite explosion throws particles into the air and even causes environmental changes. Explosives in RE produce a massive dust cloud, one that you can really get a scope of when throwing off of tall structures. How does a horror game treat fire versus an action-adventure? Red Dead's lanterns and fire bottles can be used to damage groups of enemies from afar, and rather impressively it'll spread and ember on wood-like structures. In RE, anything aflame will be a set piece. They don't want you to die to fire, that's what the zombies are for. It still presents a dangerous atmosphere, you just can't weaponize it. I mean, who's gonna be taken out by some toasty air when there's 18 feet tall vampires walking around? Oh wait. Glass is a funny one. At several points in Village, you'll be using it to break through to your enemies, such as damaging the daughters in the castle. Red Dead's windows take some visual damage, but it seems for safety they allow bullets to pass through the glass so that windows can still be used as defensive points. And yes, we even tested the icicles, which can be destroyed in Red Dead. In fact, almost every object in Red Dead possesses some sort of unique weight and mass when shot. Again, Resident Evil devs probably shouldn't encourage players like this by making everything breakable, so at least certain items can produce unique bullet damage. Looting in both games is quick and rewarding. RE will give you a visual indicator if there's remaining loot to be found. You may find yourself crafting when surrounded by zombies or out in the Wild West. Both reward you for exploring the environment. In some cases for RE, it's mandatory. Crafting in Red Dead usually offers some sort of animation, which isn't the best if you're trying to mass produce an item. Of course, you always need a way to taunt your foes. Where the visual systems are almost identical, Red Dead's crouch will save you from rogue bullets, whereas RE's crouch is almost always a traversal or minor puzzle mechanic. You knew we were thorough if we're going through door mechanics. Haha. Red Dead's doors give some resistance but can be shut open. Resident Evils usually act as a border where enemies do not pass, so getting through them without any physics is actually very welcome. Here at the intermission, I offer you reloading ASMR. Resident Evil offers you a catch-all heal from the press of a button, whereas Red Dead will likely have you navigate several menus to get what you want. When testing the sniper range, we found that fantastically, both titles allowed you to hit almost everything you could see. I'm no expert, but I don't think Old West rifles were this accurate. That said, it is endless fun. Needless to say, in Village specifically, if you are able to see an enemy, you will be able to hit it. Both titles give cosmetic footprints. I'm really impressed either way. These things stick around a long time. If we're talking herbs, truly Arthur is an RE character at heart, gobbling down those plants raw like that. This is your primary form of healing in RE, and a mostly optional side activity in Red Dead. When fishing in Red Dead, you're really encouraged to use the rod instead of being a wild gunman, but Ethan just doesn't have that option. In RE, fish will only be found in very specific areas and used for upgrades. Well, if you're a cowboy, they'll be all over the place, but not exactly the easiest to grab. Bird hunting in Resident Evil might take you a few more bullets as depicted here, but once you find the right group of crows, blast away, as their little claws will always be holding some extra money. Well, in Red Dead, these animals are used for food and crafting materials, though you can still make $1 or $2. In both games, there will be many times when birds are visible, but are out of reach of your weaponry. Vegans look away. Chickens in both games are used for a quick snack and will go down with one hit. The chicken AI is nothing crazy. Both will only spawn in very specific areas. Use the circle or B button to perform the quick turn, snapping you in the other direction for a quick takedown or a life-saving maneuver. RE being a horror game and all, it's very welcome, whereas in Red Dead it can impede your movement a little bit if your body is facing forward but Arthur's looking backward, and while it does feel a little stiff, it's always a welcome movement option. In very basic swimming systems, Red Dead only allows you a surface level swim, so you can't get yourself stuck somewhere. Though, I know what you're thinking, you can't swim in Village. Well, we found one way. Finally, if there is one constant about games taking place in the wilderness, it's that a wolf is never far behind. In both cases, they'll give you a run for your lead. What do you think? Who did it better, and in what ways? Be sure to let us know if y'all enjoyed this comparison style video, as there are plenty of future games who could go head to head. Smash subscribe and much love to the developers with all of the hours they spend just making sure the chickens cluck. And game on!